If you were like me as a young lad, you probably thought action anime was the only genre of anime. DBZ, Naruto, Inuyasha, Cowboy Bebop, Full Metal Alchemist, The GOAT, Yu Yu Hakusho, the era of everyone just throwing hands. Honestly, for a good while, I only thought that anime with fighting in it was the only thing worth watching. Because if you can't see the hero smashing their fist into someone's face, getting cool power-ups, and saving the world from imminent destruction, while at the same time getting the girl for doing absolutely nothing but having muscles and being able to fight, your anime to me was considered trash if it didn't have these things. But as I've gotten older and I'm married to my wife who is an OG anime fan, the days where you can get made fun of for liking anime, she put me onto a few anime that if I was to watch them a few years back, I wouldn't try to watch them. This genre of anime was shoujo / romance anime. Now, I am not an expert in this genre, but so far I've liked what I've seen. Especially enjoy rom-com anime because I just love rom-coms. Like Hitch is my favorite movie, and the fact that I can watch anime, laugh, and see a story unfold with a bunch of twists and turns is really great, and I don't mind watching it. It's actually probably like my favorite thing of watching in this season right now. But there is some out there that believe that guys shouldn't even touch romance anime. Again, I was scrolling through everyone's most toxic app and I got introduced to a young fella who was very much against men watching romance anime. Like, why would anyone be upset about people falling in love in an anime? Well, we're gonna find out here.
You should never watch romance anime if you're a guy. Now look, I've watched a couple anime, right? I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. My favorite one's Yu Yu Hakusho, and recently I watched Baki. It's nice, right? Some of us use it for gym motivation, some of us buy anime clothes that look nice, whatever, right? Like anime's cool, it's a cool media form. But one of the traps that I see a lot of young men fall into is watching romance anime. This might be one of the worst things you can possibly consume because it turns you into a degenerate loser.
Okay, there's a few things to unpack there, but moral of the video is that if you watch romance anime, you're a degenerate loser. End of video. I'm sorry you thought there was more. Now, I appreciate that he's watched Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, this guy knows quality shonen anime right there. That's my favorite anime. Most guys, shoot, everyone can get motivated from watching anime like these. And to be honest, I believe that's one of the great things about shonen anime. When you see Goku and Vegeta training, you feel motivated to grind harder in the gym. When you see Naruto punching out the people who doubt him because he has a nine-tailed fox, and eventually you get to see him become Hokage, you can get motivated from that. Maybe we get motivated by anything if you can set your mind to it, because you saw in Naruto that he got what he wanted from the ground up. I'm glad he said this, but I'm interested to see why he said it was a trap for young men to watch romance anime.
See, if you're watching One Punch Man or Dragon Ball Z, you have these main characters like Goku or Saitama who are like go-getters, they try hard, they always push themselves. But in these romance anime, the main characters tend to be absolute losers, and then for some reason the writers make it so where the super hot girl who's top of the class or like the best person you could possibly ever be falls for this loser and like becomes enthralled with their quirky little traits.
He's upset that some romance anime produce a storyline that has the loser winning and getting the pretty girl. Are we serious right now? Like, bro, that's at the heart of most shonen stories, if we're being honest. Like, let's take My Hero Academia for a minute. Midoriya, the main character of the shonen superhero show, with all the action and everything, the muscles, dude starts out as a loser. In a world where having superpowers is everything, he is the disappointment of the entire My Hero Academia universe. Until one day, All Might, the greatest hero ever, gifts Midoriya with powers. He gifts him with power. He didn't have to work for them. He didn't have to do anything for them. He wasn't born with them to, like, yes, he has to hone them after he receives All Might's powers and control them. But he didn't. He was gifted powers. Midoriya went from a loser to having the greatest superpower ever. A loser to having the greatest superpower ever. It's definitely mad unrealistic compared to the beautiful girl having feelings for the loser guy, who actually isn't a loser but a great person at the end of the day. Horimiya is a great example of this, where you have the guy who in the beginning of the show is portrayed as this loser, weird guy who's isolated from other people, but by the end of the show, you find out he's actually pretty great and has amazing qualities. It's like they make the main woman in the show not shallow so that they appreciate the qualities that the other characters have in the show. Sorry for development, I guess. In the declining age of red pill and guys that think that if they get muscles and money and cars, that they think that they'll be able to get anything they want, and that there's not a need to build qualities on the inside, to not be emotionally mature. So when guys like this watch romance shows, they can't fathom the idea of the undesirable loser main character who's actually pretty great being liked by a really pretty girl, because they think that it doesn't happen. To be honest, it probably happens more than you think. I mean, look at me. For being honest, you might be the loser in someone's story, my friend. Just watch the anime.
Becomes enthralled with their quirky little traits, and then you'll see guys compare real life relationships to anime relationships and be like, oh, I wish I could find a girl like the one in this anime who has no expectations of a guy and will date a loser. Why can't that happen to me? But also she has to be super hot with double D's and a 1-inch waist, because that's how the girls are drawn in anime. What are you doing? I don't care who you are and how uncorruptible you think your mind is. If you're a young man and you're constantly consuming these types of media and these types of stories, you're going to become influenced. You're going to start to think that this is how life really is, or how it should be.
You will never have a relationship like the ones you see in anime. They are unrealistic. They are for entertainment purposes. If your standard is thinking that you can do nothing and have the most flourishing relationship with someone, then you're a little bit off. Having a relationship and getting into one, it takes work. And if you like the beautiful girl, most likely she won't fall into your lap or come across your quirkiness by accident like in anime. You have to get out there and just see what happens. Work on yourself. Follow Jesus. Most importantly, improve in the areas that you have control in, and you'll never know what happens. But most importantly, pursue someone who will like you for you, not a facade of you. But to be honest, it's not out the realm of possibility. Hey, I mean, I'm a loser, and I got a really, really beautiful woman who likes me for me and my quirkiness, and she slid in my DMs. Young people are really influenced when it comes to certain things that are consumed. But my friend, so are you. You don't realize that you've been influenced by the anime you watch or the things that you watch, probably to a negative degree. See, if you think that the standard or goal of anime characters to be like our Saitama or Goku, then you've been influenced by those things. Thinking that working out and working hard will always work in your favor, it actually doesn't. That's not realistic. We live in a broken world where we can't control everything. You might pursue something to the best of your ability, but at the end of the day, it still fails. You may put 20 hours in the gym a week, but you still might be riding the bench. Trying to be like these characters isn't possible because you're human. You could do 1 trillion push-ups and sit-ups like Saitama, and you could still lose your hair and be bald and still not get the girl that you want. You could get all the power and the strength you need and still fall short, because the reality of this life is that it is not an anime. I mentioned this before, and not everyone falls into this category, but it's the male power fantasy being displayed from this video to make it seem like Goku, Saitama, Yusuke are more realistic main characters than people like Uzumi or Otani, which is, they are way more realistic characters in anime. I don't have a problem with the list he suggested at the end. The problem lies in that he says that romance anime won't give you the girl or the life that you want. But he says that watching Baki or One Punch Man and DBZ will. That doesn't make any sense, to elevate one genre of anime over the other. Guaranteed there are guys out there that are motivated by these shonen characters and still can't pull the 10 out of 10 baddies that they feel entitled to. Because more than just having muscles and thinking that imitating these characters will give you a gravitational pull towards women, it doesn't. Just a side note, there's more to anime than Baki, One Punch Man, DBZ, Naruto that young men should consume, because there's a wide range of anime that teach you life lessons, how to grow, how to persevere, how to grieve, how to stand up for friends, how to make friends, how to be emotionally mature, how to be a friend, how to love. We all have to realize that at the end of the day, anime isn't real. Yes, there is a corner of anime fans that think that it is, but if you watch romance anime, that's not a problem. If you watch any type of anime, that's not a problem, except hentai. Do not watch that filth. Please do not, please. Just realize with any type of anime or show that there is a real world to live in. If you want to find a love or friendship, whatever it is, you have to be out there. Don't let these people shame you for watching romance anime because you're a guy. These guys are probably the same dudes that watch Eren be a mass murderer and talking about, I'm him. You're not. Please don't ever be. Because that'd be dangerous. So let me offer my fellow romance anime watchers some advice. If you watch these shows and you enjoy them, like you long to be known and loved the way these characters in the anime are loved and known, to experience a life like theirs, but then you realize the sadness because anime love seems like perfect love that isn't attainable in this life. Can I share something better with you? In my opinion, I think that you can be known and loved in a way that can fill you in this type of way. Jesus offers that type of love. One of the reasons why I've been enjoying romance anime like My Happy Marriage, because in my perspective as a Christian, it shows me how Jesus, a perfect, powerful God, loves us, flaws and all. Doesn't matter the baggage that we bring to the table, Jesus welcomes us with an unmatched love. So much so that he demonstrated that unmatched love by going to the cross for you, to live the life you cannot live, to die the death that you deserved, and then rising from the dead to prove that he has power over life and death, and that if we have placed our faith in him, if we do place our faith in him, we can experience so much of an unmatched love. Even romantic anime can't compare to that. I'll catch you in the next video.